Hi, I'm Nikki from Nana's Quilt Cottage. I want to show you today how to take just some random scraps and make a bag. We have a bag challenge in our store, and so I thought I would just show you how to take some scraps and make a bag. I'm not going to give you measurements because I didn't use any measurements. I just was having fun. So what I started out with is I found some lining fabric out of my scrap bag that I wanted to use. So I grabbed that lining fabric and I cut a random size. This one I started out with an 8 by 10 size, but then after I sewed my scraps onto it, came out to more like 9 by 10. But seriously, just have fun with this, randomness. So a piece of lining and a piece of fusible fleece. Fuse the fusible fleece to the lining. Then you're just going to piece the fabrics for the front of your bag on top of the lining. So you're essentially quilting it at the same time. You want to make sure that you make two pieces that are the same size. They don't have to match exactly, they just need to be the same size in the end. So here's my two sides of my bag. I have one side for the front and one side for the back. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to prep my zipper. So my bag here came out to be 8 by 9 because I had to trim it down based on my scraps. So I have a 9-inch bag. I'm going to cut my zipper 1 inch shorter that I'm going to place on here. So I cut my zipper 1 inch shorter and I'm going to bind the edges. To bind the edges, I take a 1.5 inch piece of fabric, and the first thing I'm going to do is fold it in half. Oops, let me get this one open. I'm going to fold it in half and press it, and then I'm going to fold the ends in, press, and press in again. So then I have this nice little piece that's 4 layers. I will slide it onto the end of my zipper, and I would sew it down, and then I take the other side and use it on this side. So right there, make sure my zipper pulls in the center. We have another video on our YouTube channel that tells you how to change out your zipper pulls, so make sure you check that one out. So 1 inch smaller zipper. I'm going to use my Clover Wonder clips, center my zipper on my bag top, and use them to hold it on. And then I'm going to sew this onto here, across. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an overcast stitch to take care of the edges on my bag. Then I would take it and I'd attach it on the other side the same way, pin it on, and sew it on so that I'm attached on both sides. I've overcast my edges. Then what I'm going to do is flip to the front and top stitch. So my bag should look about like this right now. Okay, then I'm going to fold it together, pretty sides together. Make sure you leave that zipper open, otherwise you're going to have a problem because you won't be able to get your bag open. Leave it, put it together. Then I'm going to sew all the way around my bag. When I sew, I'm going to make sure that I don't hit that binding that I put on those zippers. That will give me this nice, clean finish to my bag. I like to have clean edges on my bag, and this is how you do it. So, sew all the way around. You're going to box your corners. For this size bag, I'd probably box about 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Remember, we're using scraps, there's no rules, we're just having fun making a simple bag to give as a gift. You can always pin it first after you box your corners to see if you like the size. So anyway, this is Nikki from Nana's Quilt Cottage. Be sure to check out our other videos to see other great bags and projects you could make with us. And remember, get creative.